We're out in the bush again, you know, Sunday afternoon, Sunday drives and all of that. And we had a bit of a few spare hours today. And I have to put L plates on, people. L plates. Oh my God, at the age of 51. Tell them, Aidan, why do I have to put L plates on?
Because for some reason she wants to learn to drive the Ram, which is based on the GVM of it, a light rigid truck, rather than a standard car license. So
yeah, so the Rams are 2500, but the GVM's been upgraded, right? Yeah. So I need a light rigid license technically to drive it, which I don't presently have. So more than likely I'll end up going and doing a day course or something, just to get that done. But you know, I actually don't have a lot of confidence driving bigger vehicles. I've never had to drive one. The first time I got into my Ford Ranger, I thought that was big, and now I'm getting into the Ram 2500. It's the reversing. I hate reversing the big vehicles.
it's easy.
Yeah, he says it's easy. So, ladies, my aim is by the end of 2024, I want to have my light rigid license. Might even go for the heavier one if I have to go and do a course. And believe it or not, I want to be able to be confident towing the van as well. We may end up doing a towing course. We'll see how that goes. And I also want to be able to reverse that goddamn thing into the smallest spot. So, you know, I just want to rock into the campsite and just reverse it like a pro when everyone's sitting around having their beers. I think it's going to take a bit of practice. But where we live, fortunately, we've got lots of space that we can take it out and, you know, do as much practice as we need, but one step at a time. So, wish me luck, folks. Wish me luck. There's always something new to learn in life, right?
Yep.
Yep. And what a beautiful spot to do it. So, come along for the ride if you're game enough.
I might wait here.
You can't wait here. You're the driving instructor. But on a serious note, the other reason that obviously the Ram is just, it's auto, it's just like driving a car, but I want to have confidence to drive it in case we're out somewhere and something happens with Aidan. A lot of the remote places that we're in, there's no waiting around for emergency services. It'll be throwing each other into the car, pedal to the metal and getting to wherever we need to be. So I don't want to be under the pressure in an emergency situation that I have to throw him in the car. Well, let's face it, I couldn't get him in the car. He'd have to throw himself in there, and then we can get to where we need to be. So anyhow, come along for the ride. Wish me luck. We're out on a Sunday drive today, enjoying the Johnberg Loop. There's no wind. Last time we did this, it was so windy. We chose not to stop at a lot of the lovely spots. We're doing it in the opposite direction today. And we've just come across one of the creeks which has recently been running. You wouldn't think so now, but a great example of a beautiful Flinders Ranges creek. Huge amounts of beautiful rocks and huge gum trees. We've got Ruse up there. You probably won't be able to see that fella.
He's big.
He's big, yeah. And just so peaceful. Colours and everything are just amazing, aren't they, Aidan?
Yep.
This is the kind of thing we like to do. Just get out for a drive in all the different seasons. Have a look around, see how things have changed. You wouldn't believe these were flooding only a few weeks ago. Anyway, we just bring a picnic and just enjoy the bush for an afternoon. Seriously, you have the seat very close. Are we good to go?
Yep.
Fun times. Don't mind a big engine, gotta say. Okay, indicators are on the left, right?
Yep, everything's on the left.
It's just like driving a car until I had to pull into a car park. Yeah, that'll be fun.
You just have to remember the height and the length.
Yes, because length matters. apparently.
Now the problem is I'm the one that's really nervous now because I'm letting someone else drive my baby.
Your baby, yes. So ladies, if you're watching this, I have driven thousands and thousands of kilometres around Australia by myself in my vehicles, you know, swagged in the outback, done all that. And there's still just something about getting into this bigger vehicle that kind of just makes me a little bit nervous, which is crazy because I've always been able to overcome any challenge that I set myself. So emus, so I guess this is no different.
But don't worry, I'm more nervous than you are.
I can see that. He's got a nervous look on his face.
You shouldn't be looking at my face, keep your eyes on the road.
I'm a woman, love. I can multitask. So these are the beautiful purple roads around home. It's actually a great spot to come and do some learning. I'm quite confident on dirt roads. I have driven many hours on dirt roads, and so that doesn't bother me too much. You do have to be on high alert and understand what's going on with the road, but it's just something you learn with time, really.
How are you going, my love?
Well, I think we've established that my legs are longer than yours. I need to muck around with your seat settings, love. I don't think you'll be very happy about that. But apart from that, it's just like driving a car until I have to reverse into a park or do something. Of judging, you know, my spatial awareness is shite, people, shite. Always known it. That's not the way my brain is programmed to think about that. But sometimes it's good if we know our failings, then we can focus on them and what we need to do. So yeah, perhaps we'll find somewhere out here something that I have to reverse in between, and we'll see how that goes. So I just asked Aiden what he was nervous about, because, you know, it's not like I'm a learner driver. So what are you nervous about, Aiden?
That I might never be allowed back in the driver's seat again.
Yeah, might be a possibility, because this is a nice car to drive. I sold my Ford Ranger, which was only a 2020, sold that late last year, and bought a Toyota Prado as my camping car, our city get around car, because sometimes the Ram's just too big to take into the city and park, and we don't want to be driving other drivers crazy with the Ram on the road. We pretty much use it just for our travel and things. But yeah, this is a nice car to drive, and it sounds good too. Always love that.
And we haven't even turned the exhaust brakes on.
Yeah, we haven't got the exhaust brakes on. So yeah, he might be struggling to get back into the driver's seat. Might have to put him onto all the social media and videoing duties.
No, I think they want your quality, not my poor attempts.
Oh my God, would we call it quality, love? I don't think so.
Well, it's better than mine. If you're relying on my photos, you might get one every 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh my God, I looked at Aiden's camera reel the other day, because he was like, took a photo, and he's like, I've got this photo. And then we went back on his photos, and he's literally taken like 10 photos since 2024, like, well, not even 2024. I'm like, where's all your photos? He's like, you're looking at them. I'm like, what? All these places we've been. But you know, that's not a bad thing. It's living in the moment, or enjoys looking at his wife's photos. I'm not sure which.
There's some of the view we have, or I have, while I'm nervously sitting in the passenger seat.
Oh, come on now. Well, if we can make it through this grid, we'll be doing all right.
Well, I did the last time.
I can't believe how nervous you are. It's quite funny. Even though you've been in our other cars when I've driven. Okay, so I'm starting to think, who do you love more now, love? Love, love, love. Love the Ram or love your wife? I'm thinking, guys and girls, that you might choose the Ram over me first if it came down to it. I get it. It's your home on wheels.
I'll plead the fifth.
You what?
I'll plead the fifth. Can't self-incriminate myself.
So, you know, like I'm driving, and normally when the roles are reversed, I'm over there navigating. So it's like I've got the map book out or whatever, and I'm quite good with, I really like a paper map, gotta say, because, you know, where we go, there's no phone reception most of the time. And now, Mr. Instructor over there, we are lost.
Yes.
We are not,
I'm
no
the
longer.
instructor, not the navigator. I'm the driving instructor. I have to keep an eye on what you're doing and where you're going.
I'm like, Aidan, this doesn't look familiar. This isn't what we did before on the John Berg loop, which was our aim today, to do that because it's a nice loop and easy for me to drive. No, none of this looks familiar, but that's okay. Now we get to look at this. So I ain't turning this beast around until I find a good spot. You know, and also I don't want to be starting any fires. So we'll just keep driving. Oh, wow, great gum trees in here. Yeah, so Mr. Navigator over there better pull his socks up and do his job.
I do two jobs. I'm a driving instructor or the navigator.
Oh, you're a man. Can you only do one job at a time? Have to skill you in multitasking.
I'm also trying to video.
Oh, 3 jobs. 8, Dad and 8 babies. It doesn't matter what you do, they will keep running on the road. We've stopped to have some lunch so that Aidan can recover, I think. Anyone would think I'd never driven a car before. I don't see Aidan nervous very often. It's quite an interesting experience. Anyhow, great spot here in the creek. Get out some lunch and just take it all in. Sit out in the bush for a bit on a Sunday and just enjoy all the birds, wildlife, seeing foxes, emus, roos today. But just check out these trees. Absolutely magnificent. Never camp under them, mind you, but just stunners. Stunners of SA. Aidan's learning to use a drone for when we're out on these remote kind of spots, just to give us a better view of what's going on. Little Eagle just found his drone quite interesting. So let's see, the pressure's on. Can he land? Can he land it? Can he land it on the landing pad? Whoa. There's no way I'd be flying the thing. Boys and their toys.
Landing.
Oh, love. Just a little off target, but pretty close. So what is that drone that you're using? Your new toy?
DJI Mini 4.
DJI Mini 4, is it?
Take off.
Absolutely one of my favourite things about the Flinders Ranges. Oh, sorry, it's bright out here today. Is how many ruins there are. Old stone ruins and everything in between. always have to stop and have a look. And actually this one, stopped here before, and I actually wrote a short story on this one. Very short story, like 1 page. Because I could just imagine a lady called Mabel sitting out the front of this one. I'll pop it up on my blog soon actually. Don't think it'd be enough space on the community page to share it. And I'm thinking about adding to her story. I think inside there's a writer inside somewhere, but I don't have the confidence yet to write, but I love toying with the short stories. So look out for that. Right, seeing the old ruin stuff.
Yeah, it makes it interesting.
Yeah. It's always a bit eerie, isn't it?
Yes, it's always a question of what was life like back then.
Yeah. Who, what, why, where, what happened.
Some of what they built back then you wouldn't build now.
Yeah, exactly. This one actually it looks like it's had some been quite modern compared to some of them that you see in the Flinders. This one's out on the Johnberg Loop. It's not that old, this one. Well, parts of it are. But yeah, always a bit eerie. But I can't help myself, always stop and have a look. See what it was like out here. You can really like feel the energy of almost sometimes what you think happened at the place. Quite often there's a lot of like old relics laying around, old pottery and glass. Oh, big bug just flew into me. Thankfully I got my glasses on. And you can really get a sense of what it was like. I'm currently in the process of putting together my favourite things in the Flinders Ranges into a bit of an itinerary. So I hope to have that on the blog sometime soon. Just for those people that are interested in the same things. Because there is certainly a lot to see in the area. Just beautiful. It's like having a little peek into a previous life. It's free air conditioning. So if you're out near Carriton or Orroroo in the Flinders Ranges, the Johnberg Loop self-drive tour takes you through some pretty lovely creeks, some old ruins. And a lot of you would probably run into it if you're heading up to Bendelby Ranges. So definitely well worth it on a beautiful day. It's quite beautiful out here at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, surprisingly green.
We had quite a bit of rain a few weeks back, and so you can definitely see where the rain fell out here. It's either barren dry or there's a little bit of greenery. So far I've managed to get through lots of grids and not hit anything, so we're doing all right.
That's Bendelby Ranges over there to our front of us in the camera.
Yes, great spot to go camping and four-wheel driving. We're out and about today. Oh, they're so funny, aren't they? They can go any which way. Well, we made it home in one piece, and I even managed to reverse it into the carport. So, you know, not bad. Not bad for a first drive. Missed the roos, missed the emus, and got it into the carport. It's not straight, but that's okay because we have it on an angle so that we can drive out easily. Anyway, that's an accomplishment for today.
Damn flies around.
Damn flies. So we're out in the bush, everyone. No, we're not going to say so. I'm not going to say so. How do you